Health, Wealth, and Happiness Show. And I believe you tuned in today for a reason, a very special reason. My guest today is my friend Alan Snetman, and he is a master gong sound therapist. I probably got that wrong. This is
That's pretty close.
Is that pretty close?
That's pretty close. A sound therapist who has specialized in gongs. And I was trained under the Grand Gong Master, Dr. Mitch Noor. Dr. Noor has been involved with this modality for the last 40 years and is considered the leading expert in the West. In fact, the people in Nepal and other countries seek his advice and help as well. And I'm happy to say that I'm going to be taking a 10-day educational training experience with Dr. Noor. We'll be going to Nepal and Kathmandu this coming spring.
That's fabulous. But right now, we're here in Bellevue at World Music at the Kroger Shopping Center, and you will be doing demonstrations at this location.
Well, I'll be doing actually performances. First of all, this is one of Nashville's best-kept secrets. World Music Nashville has a wonderful venue, as you can probably see in the back. And when we set up, this is where we will perform as the Nashville Gong Theater. And by the way, I have some good news. I was just invited to join Dr. Noor's group, the Secret Gong Orchestra, and we'll be playing live in Boston the first part of the summer of this coming year. So I'll be setting up here on a regular basis and doing performances. We are actually just now doing like dress rehearsals at this particular time, but I'm sure after the holidays and the start of the new year, we will be up and running.
The gongs sound absolutely, they're incredible.
The gong, Patricia, is the oldest instrument known to man. It dates back anywhere from 6,000 to 16,000 years. It's often been referred to as the voice of God. In fact, the ancients said that if you were gonged every day for 10 days, you would be cured of everything. The gongs are the most powerful sound therapy tool, with the exception of the human voice. And for those of you who are out watching, something you might try while you're sitting there, if you might try humming on. And you know how you can hum and you'll feel yourself vibrate? Well, you might go up the scale and down and feel the effects it has on you. But the gongs, we have two types of methods that we play. When I'm doing a one-on-one session, the guest is lying down on a massage table with a gong at their head and a gong at their feet. They have loose, comfortable clothing. They remove their shoes. They have a pillow, an eye mask, and a blanket. And when I start to play in that scenario, actually the guest is lying down in an electromagnetic field. And everything vibrates. Every living cell, everything vibrates. When it's vibrating at its proper frequency, it's in a very healthy state. Think about the heart and an EKG. So when you're hooked up to an EKG, if your heart isn't beating properly, they're going to want to do something about that medically. So that's one way Western medicine uses sound therapy, ultrasound in diagnosis. But in our case, we use it as a way to help a person achieve proper balance in their energy centers by having them resonate and vibrate where they should. It's like when your heart is beating properly, the other organs in the body know it. When your heart isn't beating properly, they know that as well. And one of the main reasons people love this, it is wonderful for stress. And the effects can last for days for some people. And of course, if we're stressed out, Patricia, we know how that affects our immune system.
Absolutely.
When our immune system is down, we're more susceptible to disease.
Absolutely.
So it allows us to be healthier and happier.
So it opens the chakras, balances the chakras, and it reaches every cell.
It does.
I had an experience probably about a month ago when I did a treatment, and I felt I had some emotional blockages. And when after the treatment, I felt like my body was awakened, and I keep saying sea anemone, but that's the way I felt. I felt like my face, my skin, everything was like suddenly awake and alive again, where things had been shut down.
I love to hear that. And, the gong is referred to as a psychoacoustical instrument. And you said you had an emotional breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
People can. And it could be something just as simple as what you just described. Sometimes a person can have a fear of something and they don't know exactly why. They always shy away from that situation in life. And they can have that breakthrough and things change.
And you have a percussionist background.
Yes, I do. In fact, my first lessons were here at World of Music. And I started out as a percussionist, bongos and kungas and other instruments that a percussionist would use. And it just was a natural to move into the gongs.
Who introduced you to it's incredible.
A friend of mine here in Nashville, I met at a music store buying a mallet for a gong. And I didn't know anything about that. This person is a singing bowl master and was studying to be the same with the gongs. And I had a treatment and I got off the table and I said, that's it. This thing has changed my life. I couldn't believe how I felt and I wanted to share that with others. So
and you didn't go into it with a small way.
No, I don't do anything in a small way. But I'll tell you something else. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. And this is a very popular modality in Europe, very big in Europe. And it's often referred to as a gong bath. And people will lie down on the floor. If I'm going to do it, we're going to do it right. We have these beautiful anti-gravity loungers, eye mask, and a nice velour type blanket. So when you're in the lounger, you're actually floating, like you're floating in space. And when anti-gravity, if there's no gravity, you're weightless. So when you're lying back in that position, it's like you're floating in space. And then I begin to play the gongs. And it transports people to places they've never been.
The doctor that I looked up this morning, he has a book. It's called The Healing Power of Sound, Dr. Mitch Gaynor. And he's the director of medical oncology and integrated medicine of the Strang Cornell Cancer Prevention Center in New York. Okay.
Well, I am familiar with the doctor, and that's a very prestigious hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And he's using sound therapy with his patients. Sound therapy is used with Alzheimer's patients because it improves memory. It's used at hospice because it helps for a smoother transition when a person passes on. I have people that are being recommended to Hashimoto patients, thyroid problems that come to me. I've had several cardiologists come in and they like what it does because it reduces stress. And I love doing these on a Sunday because the number one day for heart attacks is Monday. And people that are in that situation have very high stress jobs. It's a great way to prepare yourself for the coming week, especially for so many people. This lasts for days.
Oh, it did for me. It does for me. Absolutely.
It's been great for autistic children, behavioral problems. But what I really want to have happen is I believe everyone should have a gong. And as passionate as I am about this, I really want to take it to to the nth degree. And to me, there should be a gong in every home. And if people had a gong and were taught some basics on how to use it, they're going to have the benefit of a lot of stress reduction, a more balanced system. We would have fewer sleeping pills and antidepressants if we had people being shown how they can change their lifestyle. You know, so much of what we do in this area of the world in our country is wait until we get sick, and then we try and attack it from that way. This is all about staying healthy and trying to avoid disease. So again, I hope everyone will have it, because there's many applications, as we just discussed, for sound therapy, and it's something someone can do at home as well.
And you can actually hear, you can see and do a performance for 20 plus.
The room holds 24 is what we have seating for at the moment, and we hope everyone will check out our website, NashvilleGongTheater.com, and if you would like to contact me, you can email me at Alan, and that's A-L-A-N, Alan at NashvilleGongTheater.com.
We'll have that on the screen as well. So great. Well, would you demonstrate? Give us a
Oh, sure. I would love to. Today we're going to be playing some singing bowls, and the singing bowls I have with me today are 99.992% pure quartz crystal. They are also metal singing bowls. The original singing bowls that come out of India and Nepal, etc., are metal. And that metal is a little bit different than what a gong is made out of. And today we have two, Patricia. We have the small gong, and I've turned these around so you're not getting to see the true beauty, but for the effect, for the sound, for the guest, this is how it needs to be. Move this out of the way. We have several different types of gongs. We have a chow gong and a nice sized chow gong. We have a smaller one, it's a little 18 inch, this is a 38 inch. This is called a wind gong, and it is also out of China. This gong is one that was made from recycled antique singing bowls. Bowls that were 100 to 300 years old, had cracked, and were unable to operate and work properly. So they melted that metal down, and they made a very few gongs. In fact, the gong in the back, I don't know if you will get a chance to see it, but hopefully, that's the largest gong to ever come out of Nepal. It's a 40-inch gong, and it is made of singing bowl metal as well. This is another chow gong, another wind gong. This is a nipple gong from Thailand, and it has a very unusual sound. And I have another nipple gong back here in the back, and it's from Vietnam. You can't see back here, but I have a gong bell, which you'll hear. And I have some Burma bells, also called Keezy bells, hanging on this back stand. Now, as Dr. Noor pointed out, you look at a gong and it's like, okay, it's a metal disc. But he said, think of a piano and it's 88 keys in a circle. And the sounds that you can get from a gong are amazing. And every gong is different, as every experience with the gongs can be different. It depends where you are. It could have something to do with the temperature of the metal. The other factor is going to be the type of mallets you use. And there's a large number of mallets, and you'll hear some of the different sounds. So, with that said, I'm going to warm these gongs up, get these molecules moving. So we'll start with a little light playing, and then we'll move on. I think the one at 8 o'clock, I don't think we have any of these shares. Gong from Thailand. Yeah, these things just kind of put you in a trance. All right. as you can see, you get quite a number of sounds coming from the gongs, and most people have never experienced this. They have seen the rock and roll band with the big crash in the center. And by the way, you really don't want to hit a gong in the center if you're going to use it for therapeutic purposes. If you're going to use it for a rock band, it doesn't matter, bang away. But if I can, let's talk a little bit more about what's happening. The mind is hearing all of these different frequencies and vibrations, and they're going through us. And it's really more than the human brain can comprehend what's happening. And the mind starts to, I'll say, shut down. The right and left side start to talk to each other, the front and rear, and suddenly you have one unit. Now, if you ever have those moments where you want to say, gee, I wish I could just turn it off, this helps you turn it off. It's like a big reset button for your energy centers and your chakras. So, it allows you to go into a deep meditative state. Now, when we're sick, what does the doctor tell us? Go home, drink plenty of fluids, you need to get a good night's sleep. Because we know that when you're in that sleep mode, that meditation mode, our body heals itself better. So again, it goes back to what can we do in our lifestyle that allows us to stay healthier and to prevent so many problems that so many people have. To me, the gong's the answer, and they're organic. One last note I got to tell you.
Okay.
There is a glass gong. Can you imagine? I never heard of such a thing, but Dr. Noor has one. And of course it takes a special mallet, but it doesn't have the different notes. It's pretty much. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan, for being on Health, Wealth, and Happiness Show. And again, the contact numbers and information for the website, if you would please give that one more time.
All right. Well, I can be reached at Alan, A-L-A-N, at NashvilleGongTheater.com. Our website will be under construction, but hopefully in the next few weeks, up and running with schedules, etc. I appreciate your interest. Thank you so much.